So our approach to the TV marketplace is to be agnostic with regards to the data providers, the technology partners, the supply and the measurement providers that we'll work with. But let me explain that a little bit. So put rather simplistically, TV has always been TV, digital has always been digital and completely different, but large percentages of that have obviously become programmatic. So as TV has moved into the digital ecosystem, it has also become programmatic. This is where MiQ comes into play. Our objective is to be one of the largest TV programmatic services providers on behalf of brands and agencies to help them navigate what has become a relatively complex ecosystem.
Can we drill down into that a little bit more? Because what does it mean to be agnostic, and why is that important in this new world of TV?
Absolutely. So, when you think about the origin story of programmatic, the idea was that you could tap into one DSP or one platform to meet all of your automation objectives. And just as supply and data has become increasingly walled off, it is no longer possible to achieve what you would want in terms of reach in the streaming space with one platform. Just to give an example, if you were all leveraged in DV360, which you would obviously need to be to have access to YouTube, now Netflix comes onto the scene, entering into the advertising space, and they're using the Xandr platform. So you would not be able to tap into or access that, and that's where we come into play. We try to work with all the platforms so we can maximize our streaming reach.
That's a good segue into the next question, which is what else does MiQ do to help TV buyers navigate this new digital fragmented ecosystem?
Well, so again, it was comparatively a lot easier to get access to a plan in television to place a linear buy. You'd be looking to hit a demographic swath, and you would know which content skewed towards that demographic, and you would also know which network to go to access that content. And that's just not how content is distributed in the streaming capacity. So now you've got content through the apps. The content can be available in multiple apps, the same piece of content, and apps are available on multiple devices. Add to that the fact that you can access the OTT ad slots from diverse perspectives, the OEMs, the manufacturers, the broadcasters, the app provider, everybody has a different level of access to the ad spot. So there's tens, if not hundreds, of routes to a particular piece of content. So what we do to help TV buyers is just to have line of sight into all those different paths, make sure we can help them build the greatest level of reach that they're looking for in the most efficient path and also with the highest level of quality.
My last question is, what is it about the Beat Retreat events that make them different or unique or special?
What I've noticed while being here is just the level of engagement on everybody who's attending. Everybody seems singularly focused on wanting to have real levels of dialogue and engagement and to really think through what are some of the challenges. I've also found it very interesting and fascinating that we have such a heavy representation from sort of traditional thinking, but also programmatic thinking, which in some areas has created some polarization, and I think the opportunity is to create bridges in those two worlds.